morning, friends. Welcome to this vlog. It is Tuesday today. Today I am working from home, so I am going to be planning out some YouTube videos. I want to try and film something as well. If you didn't see my previous video, I did a kind of Bible study with me video, and I just went through the first chapter of James and we talked about it together, so I'll link that video below if you would like to check it out. But this morning I want to finish planning out the second chapter of that Bible study video and then hopefully film it this afternoon as well. But I thought I'd share with you as well what I've been reading in the Bible the past couple days. So I'm going chronologically through the New Testament at the moment, and I finished 2 Corinthians yesterday and I started reading Galatians today. But yesterday I read 2 Corinthians chapters 12 and 13, and one of the biggest things that stuck out to me was in chapter 12, starting at verse 7, where Paul is talking about the thorn in his flesh that was given to him so that he would not exalt himself. And then in verse 9, there's that classic verse that God says to Paul, and he says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is perfected in weakness. Therefore, I will most gladly boast all the more about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may reside in me. So I take pleasure in weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and in difficulties for the sake of Christ. For when I am weak, then I am strong." And I was reflecting on this in relation to my life, and specifically was thinking about just some struggles that I've had with my mental health. And like Paul is saying, therefore, so that I would not exalt myself, a thorn in the flesh was given to me. And I was just reflecting in relation to my mental health and how I can just be so grateful for the struggles that I've had with it, because it has just been God's way of not allowing me to get into a sense of prideful self-sufficiency, so that I may not exalt myself but be pushed to rely on God. And just like it says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is perfected in weakness. In our weaknesses, God's strength is able to be shown and able to be seen. And I just had this moment where, whilst I don't enjoy the struggles or, I don't know, symptoms, side effects of mental health, I am so glad that this is something that God has used in me to just break down pride so that I may not exalt myself, so that I may just have a chance to lean on Him and know that His grace is sufficient because I have experienced it firsthand. And this passage is really just so opposite to what culture in the world tells us. It tells us to not show signs of weakness, don't be vulnerable, don't let people know that you're struggling. But in this verse, Paul is saying, I will most gladly boast all the more about my weaknesses so that Christ's power may reside in me. And that was just such a good reminder for me that our weaknesses are not something that we should be trying to hide or cover up or pretend like we're super self-sufficient and strong and we have no weaknesses and we're not struggling, but they are something that we should be boasting in so that Christ's power may reside in us. When we're weak, we can count on His strength, and in our insufficiency, His sufficiency is shown. I would love to hear what you guys are reading in the Bible right now. Feel free to share your reflections below, but I'm going to go plan my videos for today and do a bit of work. I've had this ivy plant outside here for a few years and I don't think I've ever propagated it, so I'm going to try and snip off some pieces right now and propagate them and make another little baby ivy plant. It is about 4 o'clock right now. I just finished filming my Bible study video for the second chapter of James. I'm really happy with how it went. I just love God. He's just so good. So yeah, I'm gonna import some footage and start editing for a little bit, and then I'm gonna head off this afternoon and go roller skating with my friends. I love you guys a lot, and I hope you're having the happiest day whenever you're watching this video.